What if 30 minutes from now, you really had something completely done with AI? Not watched, not saved, not learned, but really done.
Well, this is your AI Jumpstart. This is episode 405.
Welcome to Wandering But Not Lost, your online source for finding balance so that you can align, connect, and prosper. And now your hosts, O'Brien and Matt Emerson.
Well, welcome back to the WBNL Wandering But Not Lost podcast. You can find all of our show notes, our resources, and everything we discuss here today over at WBNLpodcast.com.
It's good to be back, Matt. I feel like I have been gone for like a month or something. I don't know.
You've been wandering.
I've been wandering. And we are so excited, everybody. We are really dialed in on helping you become an AI-powered agent. So today is all about getting you out of the AI overwhelm, which then of course means that you're not doing anything, and into action. So we're not talking theory. We're not going to just fluff it up. We really think we have for you what will give you that true jump start today. It's a very simple, structured way that is critical to setting up whatever your flavor of chat AI is, your AI chat, which we're going to cover today. And we believe you can do it all in 30 minutes. Yeah. So whether you've been putting this off, overthinking it, or maybe you already started to work with the chat, one of the AI chats out there, but maybe you haven't done what we're going to cover, but that's what we're going to do today.
Yep, I love it. But before we get there, let's start with a reset, right? Okay, because we have a lot to talk about in our conversation today about AI. So let's just take a beat before we get started. Seriously, let's just take it to another place right now, right? So if you're driving in your car right now, keep your eyes on the road because that's kind of an important thing. But let your shoulders drop. Try to relax a little bit while still being, aware of your surroundings. If you're at your desk, close that extra browser. You put more attention on what you're actually watching or what you're listening to. And let's all just take one deep breath. Like a real breath, right? So,
all right, there we go.
Right. We talk about that a lot on this show. The power of a reset, before you get tactical, if you do that, you will increase your opportunity for enhancement 1,000,000 times. I literally mean 1,000,000, so you can count that if you want to sometime. And today's episode is especially important and really needs that because AI carries a lot of baggage for a lot of agents. There's this feeling of being behind if you're not on the bandwagon already, or you just need to catch up. This feeling of missing some sort of window with the technology. So a lot of things that get thrown into that bucket.
Yeah, and so don't underestimate the power of that just simple little reset. Every time you sit down to go do something, just doing a deep breath and taking a second, it really feels good, right? And I have been doing a lot of training in the last week or so with real estate agents, and I hear this all the time in my training classes. I'll ask about who's using AI, or even with my coaching clients, and I'll hear, I know I should be using AI, but I feel overwhelmed. I don't even know where to get started. And I feel like people have a little bit of guilt around it. Like I feel like I'm already failed and everybody's behind, I'm behind. So that happens a lot. Anytime some kind of new technology, I can think back to when we first started having social media, and people were like, well, I'll do it eventually, but it's a lot of work. So if this is definitely happening to you, and even if you've already started to jump in, we want to save you a lot of time. Like we learned the hard way, Matt and I, a couple years ago. I was getting generic information. I'm like, well, this is just like using Google or something. And then I realized I did not really know how to train the AI to understand who I was. So that's the bottom line. That's what we're going to show you today.
Yeah. So let's go a little bit more into what the reset is really all about, right? I want you to really realize you're not behind in this process. Most agents are still figuring it out, right? Mm-hmm. The ones who learn to use AI with intention right now, not perfectly, but just with intention, well, they're going to be the ones that have a real advantage. And that starts today with you. If you jump onto the things we're talking about, not yesterday, it starts today.
Right now. And I love that. And intention is a big word for us. Yeah. We go deeper into intentional living and how that connects to your business and your life in a lot of our WBNL lifestyle episodes. So go check that out if you don't already know about that at wanderingbutnotlost.com. But for now, let's get tactical, Matt.
Yeah, let's do. All righty. let's start with the beginning, right? And what I mean by that is the real beginning, because there's so much noise out there about AI. When we say AI in 2026, we're talking about generative AI tools like ChatGPT, like Claude, like Gemini, all of which we have stuck our toe in and have been using. And these tools were built to create new content based on what you actually ask them. It's not, like Jan was saying, a lot of people think of AI as being like the mega search tool. Well, it is out there searching, right? But it is responding in a way that is going to help you build, help you grow, and help you move farther.
Totally. And I think what trips a lot of agents up is they think that they need to understand the technology first, maybe go take some class or something on it, and you completely do not have to do that. You just need to understand how to talk to it. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it this way. AI is your thinking partner, your brainstorming partner, a first draft machine. I really, really like that one because we've come up with a lot of analogies of what it's like, but I like that first draft machine a lot. It doesn't replace your expertise, your relationship, your local market knowledge. It amplifies all of that.
Yeah. That is so key. You have to bring those things to the table. It doesn't know what you know in your market, and it doesn't have all the little nuances. It can find data, but you're going to help it with all that. Right. So I like to tell students and clients, AI drafts, you decide. That's a nice little thing to remember. Your AI drafts, you decide. That's the golden rule. Every piece of content it produces has to go through your filter before it gets out to your client or you post it online, because you're the editor and you're the compliance checkpoint and you're the expert. Okay.
Right. We have done a lot of research on what's out there right now, and there are a lot of platforms. As a matter of fact, honestly, AI is connected to everything, in some way, shape, or form, right? But we really feel that there's 3 platforms that matter right now the most in real estate, and they are the ones that I mentioned earlier: ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. All 3 of these are excellent tools, and they have their pros and cons, right? There's one important thing, though. The core skills transfer from these basic things. So once you learn one really well, the others will come really quickly for you.
Yeah, and I get asked that all the time, like which one is the best? And the honest answer is sort of like a CRM, right? It depends on how you work and what you like, right? So so here's my and honestly, when I'm teaching a class, a real estate class, I'll poll the group, and most people are comfortable and familiar with ChatGPT. So I would say that's the most widely used platform right now. That's the one Matt and I learned on. Honestly, that's our go-to. Is that our legacy? Is that our AOL? Matt, Matt used that example with me the other day because I gave him a couple years ago. I still kind of give him a little dig on. He still has an AOL address, everybody. And
I don't use it, to be clear. Okay, that's not my primary account, but I didn't give up AOL. That's like saying, what the hell? I'm an early adopter. I'm an original emailer. That shows that I had
a legacy AOL
in my goals from the beginning. Same thing.
So I had AOL too, but
Chad is already getting dissed like that. Oh, honestly, that's grandma's AI. Oh, okay.
I'm telling you, that's probably when ChatGPT is going to become the AOL
that's what I said. That's crazy.
But it's a strong choice. It's easy to use. Most likely you'll like how it kind of really is talkative in a way, and you start reflecting you a little bit better, especially as the more you use it. That's how we feel. Now, if you're into really a lot of content and quality writing, and you need to do more than just like social media posts, then Claude is really outstanding. I really have just in the last month started to use Claude, and I am really loving it. We're going to be working a lot with that to update a lot of our content. Right. And then before Claude, because I started to use Gemini a couple months ago because it was in my face all the time, right, Matt? I mean, we're Google ecosystem people. We use Gmail, we use Google Drive for everything, just all the tools that are in the Google Drive for writing and for spreadsheets and so forth. So it's right there saying, hey, Gemini wants to help you. And so finally I was like, okay, let me try it. Let me get it to help me. And honestly, it really integrates wonderful with Drive. And one of the big things I love about Gemini is that you're able to, write something like maybe I'm going to write a script and brainstorm with Gemini. And then I can just go down and say, save it to my Drive. Whereas with Chat, I have to copy it and go put it into the Drive. So there's little nuances between them. But here's the deal. We don't think you need to go get them all. you need to, if you're just jumping in, pick one, and then you start to learn on it, as Matt said, then you're able to, I think I'm sorry.
I was already on it. So that's fine.
Well, because, we only ever use, let me just pick one and learn it, and then you can transfer it. I guess where I was going with that, Matt, was, we didn't look at anything else, even though Claude and Gemini's been out a little bit. Claude was out there kind of about the same time. There's Perplexity, there's Grok, there's all these other chat AIs out there, and you can get a little overwhelmed. So basically, don't do that. You don't necessarily need to have them all. Just pick one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Because if you try to learn everything all at once, you're going to be the master of none, right? Mm-hmm. So, so you're going to spread yourself too thin. You're going to get frustrated with it, right? So this is the key. One platform, get comfortable, and then go out there and explore and see what's going to work.
And then let's talk a little bit, Matt, before we move on, and just talk about what we're real excited about, how to teach your AI who you are as a real estate professional. Free versus a paid. Okay. So I think you could completely start with the free ChatGPT, for example. And then, if you start to use it a lot, you'll come up against like, hey, it prioritizes the paid people, and you might not be able to use it. It'll be like, you have to come back later. So don't pay for it until you really realize you're going to start using it. That's my advice, right? In the very beginning, I just started to learn it and so forth. And then I realized I was using it a lot. Then it made sense for me to upgrade. And they're all about $20 a month. Okay. If you want the paid, the next version of all three of them that we're talking about today, they're all like $20 a month.
So before we get started, let's jump into what we actually have to offer for you today. And that is our the 30-minute AI Jumpstart for Real Estate Guide. This is a quick and easy way that you're going to be able to jump in, get all the information that you need, and then go get your AI started the right way. And that is so important. I'm going to walk through this real quickly here so you can see what the guide has in store. We have a little explanation of what the guide's all about and how it's going to help you. We go into what AI actually is, and that is so important because we want you to be able to utilize it to its maximum potential and not as that, search platform. We talk in here also about what we just talked about, how you pick your platform, very important. Okay. And then how you can get your AI set up in 5 minutes. And this is where the real meat of the guide actually comes into play. We're going to actually show you this in just a second. And that whole thing that really is going to be the key to your process is the Agent AI profile card. You're going to love this. It's going to make your life so much more easy. We're going to go through that in a moment. And then we give you your first 5 prompts that you're going to be able to use to get you started and get you used to what that process is all about. All right. So that guide is actually available over at WBNLcoaching.com. Go to the downloads link in our main menu and you can download that guide for free. So let's jump out of there and let's jump into this Agent AI profile card. And Jan, I'll let you.
Yeah. And when you go to the download, you're going to get what Matt just discussed and showed if you're watching the video, which is all that setup, the actual profile card and the prompts. But then we decided to, because it's a PDF, we decided to give you the profile card and the prompts also in Word so you could cut and paste and customize them the way you want. So we really want to walk through how great and comprehensive this guide is, this AI profile. Let's just call it your profile, meaning who you are as a real estate professional. All right. So what we have in there is how before I go over what are the fields? A couple cool things. We've got the 7 or 8 different fields that you really need to teach your AI answer the questions for. But what's great is we created a test agent. All right, just made up an agent. I did this with Claude, and when I just came up with a name and an area and gave some backstory, and got it to help me build one. So I love the results I got so that you can see. We wanted to fill it out for you, basically. So it's not me. It's not anybody. I don't know. It could be somebody, but it's just a fake agent that works in Jacksonville luxury.
Right.
Okay. But when I read it, I was like, this is awesome. So you're going to be able to see blanks, and then you're going to see a guide. All right. So let's just kind of go through what's in there. It's your core identity. This is everything about that's important because you have to as you know, when you do advertising in anything, you have to name yourself. You have to put your name, your license number, and your brokerage name generally everywhere, every state that I'm aware of. So it has things like, what's your years in real estate? What's your professional background? Do you have any designations or certifications? What's your specialty or niche? This is really good to get in. That's how you separate yourself, right? You can even put in your website. You can also add, depending on which AI it is, add your brand colors if you have a brand guide, give it all of that. Then there's a section on the local market knowledge. What are the areas of the zip codes you serve? Okay, you're going to recognize some of this because this is the kind of things you have to put in Zillow and Redfin, if you're on Redfin, but Zillow and Realtor.com, but a little deeper because so far it's like your platform listings. Okay. Then who's your client? So it's your price range. What are the market conditions for now? If you want to put that in, then the client profile is like, who's your perfect client? Do you work with buyers and sellers? Just really dig into that. Okay. You know what they are. Even if you're not 100% what they are, put down what you want them to be. Okay. So you can attract that. Then it's your communication style. This is so important. And this is where, Matt, I think a lot of people don't know what to say. Like, I don't know what my tone is. What's your writing style preference? What are some phrases that you don't want the AI to use? Standing format instructions for things like, for example, I'll give you an example of one that if you set it, you can forget it. If you're having the AI help you with listing descriptions, well, your MLS has a character limit. Everybody's MLS has a character limit. So just go find out what that is. For example, in Florida, it was 1,000. Here in Las Vegas, I think it's only like 350 characters, not words. So now it'll help you with little things like that. Now your business details, a little bit about your transactions, or do you have a team? What marketing platforms you use? And so then you can even put compliance notes. Like when I was first working with Claude, it was writing a listing description, and I hadn't trained it to about fair housing. So I had to go in and put some instructions, and now it's like, we'll never do that. It was describing who should live in the house as opposed to describe the home. Okay. So it's very comprehensive. And the best part is you will have an example. Yeah, so we have, what's her name? Jane Johnson. Jane Johnson is Coastal Luxury Realty in Jacksonville. It's even got a fake number in there, but all of it is filled out. And what I think you'll find is I like when I see somebody's example, I'm like, oh, that made me think. As soon as I read this, I was like, wow, mine's not detailed enough. Right. I literally did that. I was like, I'm going to go take Jane Johnson's example and make my my settings a little bit better in all of the AIs I'm using right now.
And read the tone one, Jam, because you're right. The tone will
okay, so what does it say? Warm. Okay, tone. Warm, knowledgeable, confident, but never pushy. Trusted advisor, not a salesperson. Conversational and approachable. Think smart friend who happens to be an expert in real estate.
That's
so
awesome.
Some of you might go, that's completely me, or maybe you're more business minded. But the whole point is when you read that, you're like, oh, now I understand what I have to do for my tone. Writing style preferences. Here's an example: short sentences, active voice, prose paragraphs in emails, not bullet heavy. Use contractions naturally. Vary sentence length, but for readability, direct without being blunt. So it's things like that, okay? So listen, here's the other thing I want to share with you that it took me a while to learn. If you're having a hard time with any of this, just ask your AI, can you give me some examples of tone and writing styles that are common so you can help me sort of formulate what mine is. Sometimes the AI will tell you if you have examples of your writing style, you can add it so it can see how do you write a newsletter or an email. Now, the challenge with that is I'm like, yeah, but I want it to be better, but you can say that. Here's how I'm doing it. This is my style of writing. So it will start to learn, but maybe what you're wanting to do is for it to enhance and have yours look more professional. Okay. So anyway, that is the key for that. Now, it's going to take you 10 or 15 minutes. That's what we call this. This whole thing might take you 30 minutes. Yeah. If you never have done a profile kind of thing for yourself and you don't have it, well, now you do this. You can put it right into the Word document. Now you have it not just for AI, you have it for everything. Yeah. You could create a short bio. We didn't even think about this, Matt, but based on doing that, you could go back in and say, based on all this information, can you create a short bio that I can put in Zillow and Google? And a longer bio that I can put in my buyer guide, highlighting these things. So you can see where this can go. Now, the key here, in your guide, when you download it, whichever one you're using, Google or Claude, we have where it's supposed to go. So you just simply big general picture is there's usually a settings, just like everything. You have your little bubble head, your image. You'll see settings, and there's going to be a place on all of them for you to basically put all of that in the settings. You do it one time, and it's always going to remember that you are a real estate agent working, and these are all the things about me. So you don't have to do that every time is the whole point we're trying to help you see. You don't do it in a chat. You go to the settings internally for the AI so it learns right now who you are. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we did it in a Word doc for you, so you can easily copy and paste all that information, just go right over your settings and paste it right in. Okay, let's get a real win right now. We're going to walk you through one live prompt so you can hear what a well-structured prompt sounds like and what kind of output it actually produces.
And in the free download, we have 5 ready-to-go prompts that you can use right now to cover listing descriptions, social media, email follow-ups, local market update, and a past client outreach. I'm going to demonstrate the market update one in just a moment.
All right, cool. So the guide uses something that we call the R.E.A.L prompt framework, okay? R stands for role. It tells the AI who to be. And that's so important because it really needs to be you. So that's the whole key to that. E is for expertise. It gives it your context. A is for the ask, the specific task that they're going to be doing. And L is limits, right? Your constraints you're going to put around there. When you stack these 4 elements, the output quality goes way, way up.
And it's easy to remember because you are a real estate
professional.
All right, I want to read the prompt that I've already customized because we've got, brackets so you can input your city and all that. So let me read it first. Then we're going to go do it. I'm going to use Gemini and we're going to show you. I have it ready to go. I'm very excited to see how it does. Okay, it's the first time I'm testing this.
Yep.
You are a knowledgeable local real estate expert writing for a general audience. There's the role, right? Write a monthly market update for the Las Vegas metro area using this data. And I also said, and the attached report, because I have a report from my MLS, because I want to see what it's going to do. Median sales price, $481,995. Then I have the numbers down 0.6% for February. And this is all in the prompt, and I had to go get the numbers. And up 2.6 versus last month. 2925 new listings, that's down 7.1%. Months of supply is 5.3. 6,131 single family homes were available. All this came from my MLS, okay? So the update should open with a clear jargon-free summary, explain what the data means for buyers, very important. Explain what it means for sellers and close with an actionable takeaway. I added this because I wanted to get this. Also, research current mortgage interest rates and provide a brief analysis. Tone, authoritative, clear, balanced, no hype, 300 to 400 words, format as a newsletter section with a headline. Very specific, and we gave you all that with the exception of add the mortgage interest because I wanted to know what it was going to do. So let's drum roll, please, Matt. All right, that is right here. If you're listening, I have got Gemini pulled up in a new chat, that exact prompt I just read. And now I have to actually hit the go button. And I'm going to change it to thinking mode so it does a little deeper. Because usually, by the way, in all of the AIs, you have versions like, do you want a quick answer? Do you want it to think a little bit? So when you're doing market update, I would recommend doing a little thinking mode or choose the model that's in the AI that you use that goes a little bit deeper. And see, right now, and if you don't want to wait, I can say answer now, but I really want it to do it. Right. So it's evaluating the market, it's synthesizing market insights, it's interpreting trends. I kind of like this. They all do this, right, Matt? It tells you how it's thinking and what it's doing. Now, this may take a little bit more time. And if you went faster, I recommend that you try the fast mode versus this and see the difference so you will really understand why. All right, great. So now what we're getting is, wow. This is, I'm telling you, I've used something similar once in Gemini, and it's so much better on market stats than ChatGPT. So I've got Las Vegas real estate, spring momentum meets growing inventory. So now it's took the stats, it's writing all of that. It's got what this means for buyers. Most encouraging news is the significant increase in choice. And so what this means for sellers, mortgage interest rates, They're staying, even though they briefly, this is exactly what I would want to say. I knew this, right, Matt, that they briefly dipped to 5.98, crossing below the 6 for the first time. However, they've gone back up again. They're right around 6.3. And then focus on actionable takeaway, focus on seller concessions. Now, there's some minor things I might change, but I'm going to tell you right now, that is amazing to go put it in a newsletter. Just as it is with me making a few changes and making sure the numbers are correct. I mean, I gave it the numbers, but making sure I agree with it. So there you go. Now you have a piece for your newsletter. You could do this every month. You could turn it into you could now say, hey, how about breaking this down into a 1 minute or a 2 minute video and create a script with the highlights. So you can now take this and then do so much more with it. So that's what we wanted to demonstrate. And you have that as one of your 5 prompts for free.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, from that one output, from that prompt, because you did your profile card, you took the time to do that first. Yeah, it's generally usable. That's like Jan said. I mean, there'd be some changes you want to make in there.
I didn't read it all to you, but I kind of scanned it, and it's good.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it is an awesome first draft. But it's a first draft that actually sounds like you and follows your compliance rules because you set up your profile, your AI profile card right. You edit it, you verify the details, and then you publish. That is a true workflow. Okay,
that one prompt alone is completely going to save you. I'm going to tell you more than 30 minutes, like an hour. When I used to, before, I always did a newsletter, and I would, it would take me forever to try to figure out, I'd have to go find the information. That alone would take 15 minutes to try to get the data that was interpreted from the report. It's very easy to get the report that has the stats, but you've got to turn it into language that a buyer and seller would understand. So I'm telling you, it's going to save you 30 minutes to an hour, just that little bit right there. Okay. Yeah. So then if you do that every month, just, there's one thing that you take from hours of your time down to, I mean, honestly, it's 10 minutes once you have the script, the prompt the way you like it. Okay?
Yeah. Think what you can do with all that extra time, right? With prospecting, with, I don't know, maybe it's something with your family. Maybe it's getting more grounded. You're going to have more time in your life. And that's really what AI can do for you if you use it right. So here's one thing for this week that we want you to do. We want you to download that 30-minute AI Jumpstart. Mm-hmm. Right? Super easy. Once again, let me get over there. It is over at WBNLcoaching.com. Go to our downloads button in our main menu, click on that, and it will be right there for you. Right. And in that, like we were saying, that is going to really be 3 things bundled as one. They're going to have the whole guide that goes through everything we've talked about today. You're going to have that AI profile card as a separate Word document in there, so that you'll be able to fill it out and use that as your copy and your paster that you can put into your AI. And you're going to have all of the prompts, the 5 prompts, also in a Word document. So once again, you can go in, take the prompt as written, put it into your AI, and then update that prompt to make it more sense to whatever you're doing with that, whether it be a market update or a listing description or anything. You're obviously going to, customize it to yourself. But you can't do any of that until you download those documents. And once again, that's over at WBNLcoaching.com, downloads, and the AI guide right there for you, right? So, and here's the thing. Don't try to master AI this week. That's not the purpose of this. The idea is to get one win, one real piece of content that you can actually use in your business.
Yeah, and if you already have a listing, for example, and you never really understood how to use AI, go take your listing that you wrote and use the prompt and see how you can enhance it and give your current listing, which maybe hasn't sold, a new upgrade, or go, even if you don't do a newsletter, go do that market update and maybe just send an email out. Start with a monthly email that you send to everybody. Here's an update for the last month's stats, right? You don't have to go create a whole newsletter if that seems overwhelming. But now you, in a few minutes, could have a really cool market update that you could send out and start doing that all the time. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is really important. Let go of the idea that you need to be an AI expert to use AI. You don't. You absolutely don't. You need to be a good communicator. That's the key. And Jan and I have had so much fun playing with this and teaching our AI about us and about what we do and all of that. And then, we'll get on the phone and we'll talk to each other. Look what I just did. Look what, because it is a process. And I'm telling you, it really and truly is all about communication. And instead of talking to somebody, you're talking to your AI, but That is the world before us, right? Talking to AI is a lot closer to talking to a new assistant. Remember,
Yes.
than it is
Yes.
to learning how to actually code something. I think people worry about that so much that there's going to be too much. I don't know how to. I'm not an AI. I'm not an internet expert. I'm not a coding expert. It's not about that, right? It's about communication. It's about and I really love that analogy, right? It's like telling your assistant what you're going to do. We use the whole phrase, your AI is your assistant all the time, and that really is really key. Give it context, tell you what it needs, and frickin' refine it from there.
An assistant who can actually understand what you're asking it to do will do it faster, doesn't give you any problems, always shows up to work, and you don't have to pay them other than $20 a month if you're using the upgrade. There you go. So everything Matt just talked about, right? A reminder real quick, everything we talked about today, the platform comparison, the setup steps, how to use that profile, even with an example so you can kind of get inspired to really write a great profile for yourself. It's all inside that 30-minute AI Jumpstart. It's completely free. Go to the link in our show notes to get it going, or go over to WBNL Coaching. Don't hesitate. We talk about this all the time, but there's no more procrastinating. Not today. We just gave you everything you need to do to get up and running, and you're going to be super excited. Promise.
Yeah, that's true. We built it to be the fastest way for an agent to go from I haven't started to I have a real honest to goodness results today. So grab it. Once again, it's at WBNLcoaching.com. Go to our downloads and then click on the download and download that today. All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's coming up next week. We're going to be staying on the AI trail with another real estate episode. We're going to go deeper into advanced prompting techniques and show you how to build AI into your weekly workflow. So it's not a one-time experiment for you. We're going to take what we built you today. We're going to add to that. We're going to help you grow and be strengthened and feel more confident with AI as going along. Remember, this whole process is a system.
Yeah, and honestly, if you found value today, share it with somebody that you love, another agent who's been saying, maybe you already are in AI and you got something out of, like, I could tweak things a little bit, but share it with somebody who could use it, that you care about. Send them this episode, let them know about the Jumpstart Guide, and we're ready. Trust me, we're going to do a lot more. This is just the beginning. Yeah. We are really excited to help you really master AI for all parts of your business. You're going to be seeing a lot of content from us on this.
All right. So we're going to align, connect, and prosper together with AI.
Let's do it.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.